We're now joined by the Orlando Pirates head coach, Coach Jose Riveiro, as well as Captain Innocent Maela. Gentlemen, if I think I'll just, in the interest of time, just forgo the opening question and open directly to the floor. Again, I'm going to ask that we limit ourselves to one question per person, just out of respect to my counterpart that's waiting for your arrival. Okay, I'm ready to start. Do you have any questions? Noted.
Coach Benjamin Irenda Sokaladuma. Coach, this game comes like at, from my point of view, at a tough time where you just traveled and come back, and now you're going to be playing Mamelodi Sundowns, who have not lost a game this season and are sitting on number 1. And looking at the team sheet that we saw yesterday from Botswana, it was like more or less like, I would call it a rotation, though you don't like using that word. But how important was it resting some of the players yesterday going into this game?
Good morning, and apologies for the delay. After the break, we look at the schedule, knowing that we must play from Sunday to Sunday 3 very important games for us in 3 different competitions, and 3 different competitions where we want to perform in our best, and that's our concern. That's all. And obviously we knew that we playing on Sunday yesterday in Botswana, we have 2 days to prepare the game, and look, we have a press conference before the game, so it looks that the game it's something important for whatever reason. So we want to be prepared for the 3 ones and as good as possible, but let's again don't talk about rotations, because it's not a rotation. We try to go to the games with the guarantee that we can compete as good as possible, and yeah, that's all. I think yesterday we didn't get the result that we were looking for, obviously, but it's only the first half of the game, and now we have to focus in the next one. It's going to be a very exciting game for us, and for sure everybody's going to be ready on Wednesday.
I'm Khalid Mokhale, YFM coach. First thing, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that the players did not give you a present yesterday with the victory.
I know.
But coach, what would you say positive and negative effects of the FIFA break? Because I'm looking at, you had 6 players out for national duty, and looking at the turnaround, having to come back and prepare for yesterday's game, and now all of a sudden now have to prepare for the encounter on Wednesday against Sundowns.
Again, the schedule is what it is, and part of our job as a coaches is to deal with the schedule as good as possible from the strategic perspective, and utilize our resources as good as possible, and using our players as good as possible. Everybody knows the schedule in advance, even though there's adjustments during the process, during the season. Our players are extremely proud to play for the national team and represent the national team in every occasion they can, and they did it again in a fantastic way, and make us feel proud of that. So every time they go into the breaks and we have 5-6 players representing South Africa or every other nations, it makes us feel very proud of that, and the way they did it this time, the professional way that they did it, it's something very special for us. They came back in a good form, in a good fit, motivated and ready to compete for us now in the upcoming matches, like they did yesterday. You have one example here, and yeah, we tried to, or our players tried to do their best everywhere, and whenever they are called. So, like I said, it's part of our job to use the schedule as good as possible and utilize our resources as good as possible in our plans. And let's see how it goes.
Tsakon Kari from ENCA. My question is for you. Just from a player's perspective, how important is Wednesday's game psychologically? Just in terms of that Sundowns have beaten you twice, they are the defending champions and they are on top. Just how important will that match be for you guys to believe that you actually can challenge them for the league?
Good morning to everyone. To answer your question, look, from the players' perspective, we know that we're playing against a decent team, a good team. You can't run away from that, But we believe in ourselves. We know how to approach these kind of matches. We have a plan, and for us is to go out there and make sure that we execute the plan to the best of our abilities. But we don't go into such matches and think about what happened in the past. No, not at all. We don't focus on that. We put all our energies on the next match and make sure that we go out there and we do well.
Good morning all.
Good morning.
Walter Maela, I'm a freelancer. My question is directed to the captain. We haven't seen much of you. Pardon?
Please switch on the microphone.
We haven't seen much of you during games this season, but you've also been an integral part of the Bafana team. How does that make you feel? And then are you looking forward to be playing in this game against Mamelodi Sundowns on Wednesday?
Well, first and foremost, I believe each and every player we have in the squad is looking forward to play in this match. Like the coach has alluded, it's going to be an exciting game. We're playing a very good team. Each and every player wants to be part of such games. But we also do accept that only 11 players can start the match, and you can only make a certain number of subs, and we accept that. We trust our technical team. We trust the approach that they have in matches, going into matches, and the most important thing is the club and the group. As long as we do well together, all of us win at the end.
Coach, this is question for you, Lorenz from the Times. They said after the game in Botswana, frustrations boiled over between you and the opposition coach. Is there anything specific that happened there? And if you guys are obviously going to have a sold-out game at Orlando. Is there a lot of excitement around knowing that Orlando Stadium is going to be packed this week?
Yes, Lawrence, it's one question. So which question do you want? Coach. Okay.
Look, I think we now our focus is already in the Sundowns game. That's the reason we are here this morning to share some thoughts about what's going to happen on Wednesday. What happened yesterday will stay there forever. Things happen during the game. Emotions are always there playing. And we will meet again in 2 weeks. So like I said, our focus is in the next game. is a good challenge for us. We're gonna face an excellent team, very well coached, with an extraordinary record, and all of those things together is a huge motivation for us because we're working every day in order to find the greatness, and Wednesday is an opportunity to collect 3 important points. In the end, it's only 3 points. We played only 4 games in the league. We're lacking some points, and it's a game in Orlando, in front of our people, and we're really looking forward for that kickoff.
Coach Chad from SABC Sport. Besides obviously the 3 points on offer on Wednesday, what exactly would you like to see from your players there's been a lot of talk that, you know, Pirates are always favourites to challenge Mamelodi Sundowns. But in
Pirates
terms of
always?
favourites to challenge Mamelodi Sundowns.
Favourites,
Yes.
okay.
In terms of performance, what would you like to see other than just your team trying to win? And is performance important against a team like Mamelodi Sundowns, where you're playing at home and 3 points are important?
I think we already accumulate a good experience against Mamelodi Sundowns. The last season we have the opportunity to play 4 times. The game we play in Loftus, we have our chances even in that game in the first half. I think the second half they were better than us. They were the better team and they deserved the victory. But every other game, I think we managed to play in a very good level, and that's what we want on Wednesday. Our obsession is to perform always close to our best performance. That's what we are looking for, because we know that when we are at that level, it's not going to be easy for the opponent to get any point. So what we want is to play our best game. There's something that we cannot control, which is the result, because this is football. But our intention is to win, but in our way to do it. That's what makes us feel more satisfied and more optimistic about the future. It's always about our performance. I always try to separate myself from the result, because the result sometimes is lying. Even when you win, sometimes it's a lie. So I try to analyze what's happening, and that's the only way that we can improve. So like I said, on Wednesday we have the opportunity to do it against an exceptional team, and that's even, more, it's an extra motivation for us.
Thank you very much, Coach. This is from City Press. Obviously, as Orlando Pirates, you want to win each and every match. Do you feel that on Wednesday, this is a match you must win so that you stay in the race as early as it is in the season?
I think it's early to say that when we win, we're still in the race, or if we draw, we are not in the race anymore. It's important because it's 3 points. We play home. We don't want to drop any point, and especially when we play home, we want to go back to the winning track as soon as possible. We have an opportunity just after tomorrow, after not getting the result that we were looking for yesterday. And again, it's nice to have the opportunity to play against them, because it's a challenge, it's a extra motivation, let's say. But we are Orlando Pirates, and I think for the opponent it's also something special to play against us, to come to Orlando to play that game. So the only thing that I hope is that, and I'm sure it's gonna be a good game for the spectators and for the football fans, and that's what we are looking for.
Hi, Coach. Sitembi Sodindi from Times Live. Coach, we recently had an opportunity to speak to the chairman, and he had high praises for you and what you are doing in the club. How encouraging is that for you in terms of motivation to having that praise? He's not a man who will normally dish out praises.
Now, obviously, I appreciate every single word coming from our chairman, and if how can I say this? If there's something that I felt from the first minute in my time here in Pirates, is unconditional support to what we are doing, myself, the technical staff, with the players. So yeah, I take it like what it is, and appreciating that support. I don't know what to say. It's nice to hear.
We'll take the final 2 questions. Starting with Mutlatsi.
Coach, without going into the intimate details, I just want to find out what went behind the scenes in profiling Maswangani from SuperSport, And also, are you in a position to tell us what are the, some of the reasons for this good start here at Pirates since you joined you guys?
The reason of the good start, I think, is the group. The group of players, they used to welcome everybody in the right way, helping, like explained before, we have an objective as a group, and we need everybody, so it's very easy to land here in this team. So I think that the player can feel the confidence from the beginning. And the way to profile, look, how can I say, it's the way of playing, maybe the type of football that you want to play will determine the profile that you need. And sometimes, depending on the environment, the player can look, in a different level. I think the player that you mentioned fits very well in the way we want to play and the needs that we have as a team, and is part of one group of excellent players that can play in that number 10 position. If you think about the number 10, number 8 or 8.5 that we have in the squad, it's the quality is it's very high, and it's giving us more competition in that position, is making everybody else around and in his position to perform better because of that competition. And yeah, that's why it's difficult. Everybody, if I ask you now the best 10 players in the league, probably you and myself, we're gonna be agree about 8 or 9, right? But to find the players that will fit the better in your team in the way that you want to play requires a different type of research. You understand? And maybe one of the best players in the league that you and myself we are going to be agree, maybe in our team is not gonna shine at the same level. So, but we have a good structure in the club doing that research and that scouting, and for sure it's not gonna be the last one.
Final question. Anyone who hasn't had an opportunity? Going once, going twice. Chad, you're the winner.
Just to close off with the skipper. Sundowns have obviously won the league 6 years in a row now, and is one of the traditional big clubs in South Africa. Just share with us, your perspective on their success and what you aspire to when you look at the Sundowns team and coming up against them. What you feel you need to be better at to actually beat them.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jerry, it is no secret that they've had enormous success. They've done things right, their process finally is paying off for them on their side. But I mean, look, we know that what we have to do, in order to surpass that level, and I think we are in the right direction. I think we are heading in that way, and yeah, playing against them is always exciting. We know that we are more than capable of beating anyone in this league. As much as we say we are playing against a good team, a decent team, I think they know where they are, that they are also playing a very, very strong team, a confident team, a team that plays with aggression, a team that plays with fluidity, a team that is enjoyable to watch. I know you enjoy watching us, Charles. So yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be an exciting game. I'm sure where they are, they also know, it's not going to be easy. Definitely not in Escotine, Orlando, and yeah, it's going to be a decent match.
That was the final words from the Orlando Pirates captain, Innocent Maela. Thank you, coach. Thank you, captain.
Thank you.
Thank you, members of the media.
Thank you, guys.